So welcome back to my channel. Corey Griffin here. So I just want to talk a little bit about investing, right? Investing out of state versus maybe a state that the cash flow doesn't make as much sense. So every state is different. I'm in two states, right? I'm in California and Northern California, and I'm also in Southeast Georgia. And so the difference, right, when you're buying property, I'm in front of a duplex right here, and actually this duplex is, I've seen it on the market for a little bit. I've seen just kind of paying attention to it. Now it's an investment property, right? It's a great opportunity is what the listing says. And when we're talking about cash flow, we're talking about when you have a mortgage plus your expenses and anything else that goes into the property, because each property that you have is a business, right? Each property that you have is a business, and these businesses, they're either profitable or they're not when you're in the rental business. Yeah, as a portfolio, your business, you have different properties that hedge and all that kind of stuff, but at the end of the day, this is the business. The tenants in the property are your customers, and you got to treat them right. And so out here in California, rent is high, right? And the price of the property is even higher. And so sometimes the properties in California don't make much sense on a cash flow basis. So what you're doing is you're playing a long game in California, from what I've seen. Right now, you can buy properties anywhere, get cash flow. It's all negotiations and stuff. I'm not saying that they're not here. I'm just saying that there is less of it. And so like for instance, this property here, it's a two units, so duplex. Each unit is like a 2-bedroom, 1-bath, and what I'm seeing as far as rent, that's trading for $2,300, $2,500. So if you take two of those and you times that by two, let's say $5,000 total you're bringing in. Now some people would think that's cash flow. Well, then you have expenses, you have a mortgage, and what a lot of investors go off of is what we call a 1% rule, right? A 1% rule. And with that 1% rule, you're saying, hey, if I purchase the house, if I'm getting $5,000 a month in rent, I at least, at minimum, I don't want to pay no more than $500,000 if I could get it for less. It's just a rule of thumb. It's like going into the doctor and they just give you an instant, you get your blood work, they give you instant results. They still have to take it into the lab, and do some due diligence. Same thing with the property. You want to, do your due diligence on the neighborhoods and, all the technicals. But just looking at this, they want $575 for this property, and I've seen it on the market for even higher. At one point, I think they wanted $680. So it doesn't cash flow. So somebody's going to come in here, but what I would say is that a property like this is a great opportunity for somebody, especially now, where you can house hack. If there's a way where you can there's all kind of different ways in real estate where you can look at what's your return, right? And if house hacking is something that you have the capability of doing, maybe you don't mind putting your family in a 2-bedroom, 1-bath. Maybe you're single and you don't have children, and you can get a loan, you have a nice job, you can make an offer for the property, maybe for the number that you want, get into negotiation and live in one unit, right? Owner occupy it, get a loan, and see if you can get a loan on the property, and then live in, and then have the rent. So now the tenant is paying, and then if you're single, you can even rent out a bedroom, right? So there's all kind of ways that you can look at this, and then it's an appreciation game. You're looking at, hey, what's going to happen in the next 30 years, right? What's going to happen in the next 50 years with this property? You're betting on, am I bullish on California? Am I bullish on the neighborhood? Do I think that the dollar is going to keep being as strong as it is, or is it going to drop? Do I need to trade, rents for dollars? There's all kind of things, but what I would say is the most important thing when you're dealing with real estate is just remember this. It's a great tool to short the dollar. And if you understand that concept, you would be trying to buy as many properties as fast as you can, right? And you would understand that. So it's a great tool to short the dollar. It's also a great tool for tax advantages. It's a great tool to create cash flow. So it also depends on your situation. If you're in the rental game, you got a nice paying job, you know, you're making the income that you dreamed of, maybe even more, and you need to put some money somewhere. Look at the deal, use the 1% rule. If it's not hitting that 1%, not saying not to buy it, but it's just something to look at, right, and to learn about. So if you want to get, you know, a analyzer, some Excel sheets on how I analyze deals and how I analyze these rentals. And I was just walking down the street. I'm going to a coffee shop. I am not here at this property looking at it, you know, for an investment purpose, because it doesn't fit my investment goals as far as where I'm at in life, what I'm trying to do. I'm trying to build cash flow at this season of my life, and that comes from rehabbing and wholesaling, and then getting into rental properties through, you know, different creative strategies. So this right here is on the MLS, great property. I just think it needs to be at a better price, and that's why it hasn't sold. But somebody's going to buy this. Somebody's probably going to live in one unit, rent out the other, and lower their expenses out here in California. So have a great one. If you want that, go ahead and DM rental in the chat below.